the entrance to Cornwall at War Museum. There we have a V1 doodle bug. That's the back of the doodle bug. We're in one of the rooms now. I think it's the war at sea. It's a little bit dark in here, so there shall be one or two issues with lighting. This in front of us is a World War I U-boat gun from U-41. Believed to be the only example on display in the world. That's one of the two engines, Gome engines, that were used to power the Sea King. We're looking at a mobile command post from the 60s, 70s and 80s. It was installed in a Land Rover or an armoured personnel carrier. And there's a few ladies in the washroom. This is the a shop display, some of the goodies that you would have had in them days. This is the operations room. It's a setup of the operations room. And this is a setup of a workshop, repair workshop. And as usual, most of the engineers were ladies. This is the Royal Marines room.
Here you see a collection of weapons that have been taken from the Argentinians and just dumped in a heap ready for processing later on. This is what was the location of the barracks.
And this room is HMS Raleigh. What we're looking at there down the centre is a cat o' nine tails. That was used for corporal punishment, flogging. Continued in the Royal Navy and British Army until 1881. Down there's the foldable scooter used by the paras. That brass item there is a foghorn. This is the officers' mess. All those daggers, knives and bayonets on the wall there, and some swords at the bottom. Some very smart ladies and gentlemen. That's a 50 caliber. That's a 50 caliber machine gun there. One of the female pilots. And we're now going into the operations wing headquarters. And here we have a setup of the medical centre. It's a wind direction and speed machine, and it's actually connected up and working. You can see the dial there actually moving. That's giving the wind speed in knots, and this one's giving you the wind direction.
In 1905,
This is the bunker, so this was life in a bunker. They've created the smells and the noises that you would expect to hear and smell. Unfortunately, you can't smell it, but I can.
The Duke of Cornwall's expanded from 2 battalions to 15 battalions, and these were maintained throughout the First World War. Now, our diorama depicts a scene from the greatest battle of the First World War, the Battle of the Somme. The 5th, 7th and 10th battalions of the DCLI participated, but none were present on the first day, the 1st of July 1916. This was to be the bloodiest day in British military history. 20,000 British and British Empire troops died on that day, with another 44,000 missing, wounded and taken prisoner. Just think about that for a moment. 20,000 troops died in one day. Many of them
the main hangar, which has got all sorts of items in. That's a 1942 Fordson Standard Industrial, stationed at RAF St. Evel during World War II. This is a Wombat recoilless rifle anti-tank gun, British Army, 1960s to 1980s. And this is a Land Rover lightweight. It's air portable. Produced between 1968 and 1984, I think. Let me look. Yep. This is a Ferret Scout Car Mark 1, 1953. The Mark 2 had a turbo fitted. That beast there is a Hawker Hunter XG 164. I don't know if this is a Vampire T11 XK 672 apparently. Hopefully we can have a look inside the cockpit. I can't keep it very straight, unfortunately, because I'm trying to bend my arm around a perspex shield to protect it. I'm sure you can see enough to appreciate it. And this is the This is the Viper. We're looking in the cockpit area of the Viper. Now we're going to look into the cockpit of the Hawker Hunter. Now, as best we can anyway. That horrific noise behind me then was the roller shutter doors being opened and closed. Sorry about that. That's a flag from a World War I submarine U-boat, surrendered in 1918. And this was a Link trainer, 1930s stroke 1940s. I don't know. I'm presuming one of them there is a BL-755 cluster bomb. Oh, the grey one in the middle is a Mark 30 torpedo. The two red ones are a Mark 44 torpedo. And I presume that is the cluster bomb, which... Oh, is it at the back? Actually, I might be able to get that. Okay, that's a Humber ambulance model. This Pig, that's model Pig Mark II. It was petrol driven and the manufacturer was 1955. And that's the mobile incident centre that it would have towed. And that beast is a 1944 Scammell Pioneer. I don't think health and safety would be very happy with her, with a fag in a gob and a petrol pump in hand. Quite a cutie. There's one of the searchlights in the distance there. If you can read that there, it's from a bunch of short magazine Lee Enfields, recently chromed for the Sultan of Brunei's personal bodyguards.
Get your haircut, you horrible
piss off. So
the Joint Maritime Facility still receives in the information, but none of it is now assessed there. In 2008, RAF St Morgan ceased to be a flying remains of RAF St Morgan. When military flying ceased, it didn't look like RAF St Morgan was going to close. It had always housed the
this section is dedicated to the animals at war. It's mostly all photographs, I'm afraid, so I'm not going to get any good shots for you really.
Man has used animals in warfare since the beginning of time. Horses, mules, camels and elephants as creatures of burden. Pigeons can carry messages, but strictly one way only. Note the small parachute in the display. Larger wartime RAF aircraft carry 2 pigeons in yellow boxes, a means of communication home should they be shot down, particularly over the sea. In World War I, animals were protected against gas attack. Look around for references to horse and dog gas masks and gas-proof crates for pigeons. Today, bees are used to find explosives and rats to find mines. Dogs, of course, can be trained to detect almost anything. Various British Army regiments have animals as regimental mascots. Displayed is the coat worn by the winner at the former RAF Lineman's annual police dog competition. The Dickens Medal is the annual equivalent of Victoria Cross, awarded for outstanding deeds in war. We have merely scratched the surface of an extensive and fascinating subject.